Hello YouTube world, this is Alex, the gaming teacher, presenting to you a brand new gaming channel. I've always been a gamer, starting back in the days of Super Nintendo, and had often thought how cool it would be to record my own gameplay. So as I continue to watch videos of other gamers, I kind of felt more encouraged to start one of my own. In addition to that, I always thought it would be nice, 20 years, 50 years, when I eventually stop playing video games, hopefully I'm lasting that long, that I can just use these as memories to look back on. Because this is a big part of my childhood. Now, this channel will include videos on some walkthroughs, so basically games that I played a numerous amount of times, and also some Let's Play, so those would be the games that I basically have not played at all, or maybe just played once, so not really used to it. So I could have picked from a ton of games. I got like 30 or 40 altogether, but the first choice is not a tough one at all, because you can see here Kingdom Hearts is what I chose. It's ultimately my favorite game, or I should at least say, part of my favorite series. As far as like which ones I ranked in favorites to least favorites, I could talk about that later. But this particular one, the first one, this is actually a remake though from the original. The original came out 18 years ago. There's only like a few differences, so it's not all that much different from the original, but a couple of those differences I'm actually not really too fond of, so I'll mention about that once we get there. Oh, hold on a second. Yeah, I always forget, like, on the start menu, if you don't, like, change anything, so don't move your buttons, then it just takes you to a certain credit scene. I don't want that to happen, because I'm going to explain in a bit that it's going to be a big issue. But, yeah, actually, for further ado, let's just begin. So, I'm going to go to new game. This is actually a PS4 version. I know the Final Mix, they remade it PS3, and then they also have a PS4 version now. So I did one file here. Now, the first thing they ask is, what's the difficulty level? In the original, they only had two different ones, normal, and I believe they called it expert at first. They switched it now, calling it proud mode. I believe that's what happened with the Kingdom Hearts 2. They called the highest difficulty as proud. And then we have three different ones here. Now, beginner, I've never tried that at all. I feel like it's too easy. Now, that's not because I played this 20 million times, but I always just felt like, it's the easiest mode. Not really one you're looking at, unless you're just like, okay, I'm really struggling with this game, let me just get through it. But at the same time, proud mode, that is just one that's like, if you're up to the challenge. Now, for the purpose, this is a channel I'm just going to give you guys walkthroughs, for this game at least. So I'm just trying to go through it swiftly, giving you guys tips on how to defeat each boss. And, if you guys are stuck, this is a great thing to refer to. So I'm not going to really get to proud mode, because even for me, like someone that's played this game a lot, I would definitely need to be grinding here and there. And, I don't want to be losing 20 million times. I'm trying to just show you guys how it's done. Now, having said that, I could still possibly lose a couple times. I'm not really an expert. But normal mode, which we could just say Final Mix, that's the one I'm kind of more used. So I'm going to choose that. Okay, the camera settings, this is something that's a little different. It says it can be changed at any time though. So what I believe I want is, it's usually rotate the camera using the right stick. Okay. So if it's with the right stick, I know it's something you really don't use that much. So I think I'm just gonna go with auto. If that doesn't work out well, I could just change it later. And then vibration setting, that's something that's not really that important. The only thing that's can think about is like, if you get hit by any of the enemies, the controller will vibrate, and so that's something that you could probably think of, but I'll just have it on anyways, why not? It's no big deal. And then, yeah, we're going to proceed. Alright, so before we do that, we're going to get to like the opening scene. I'm actually going to be skipping that, so as soon as I click yes, I'm just going to see you on the other hand, and we'll get through that. So, see you guys in a bit. Actually, I'm still here. I'm gonna let this actually play a little bit. I'll explain exactly why I'm gonna be skipping part of this. Here though, they're just showing you companies made the game. Disney, of course. So you're probably thinking, why did I say this is my favorite game? Well, main answer is Disney. I love Disney. Not really a Disney fanatic, but I love it enough for, this game would definitely be on my top of the list. So, ultimately it.
I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this for real?
Okay.
Or not?
Now I will cut this. I'll see you guys on the other end. Hello there again. So you're back after that opening scene. Now again, the reason why I completely skipped that is because there's always been issues. I've heard around this where if people show this scene and they post it onto YouTube, there's actually copyright claims that had to be dealt with. So I've seen other people when they go through that, they actually replace the original music with their own, or they just kind of mute it completely. And I didn't want to take any risks at all, so I just ended up, let's just skip this whole scene. There's not really much you see in there, but they're just kind of introducing you to the couple main characters. But the background music, that's the reason why. So it's actually a song, Simple and Clean, sung by a famous Japanese-American singer, Utada Hikaru. I believe that's how it's pronounced. But there's that. There was also actually, remember at the beginning, I had the original menu. If you don't move your joystick or press any button, it's going to take you to the same song but an orchestral version, so an orchestra. And that too, I did not want to put that in part of the recording. Otherwise, I have to deal with these copyright issues, and that could just basically make this all of a waste. So that's why I completely skipped it. But here I'm back again, ready to get this going. So it appears to be Sora's so that's the main character, but you'll find out his name later. It looks like he's just in a deep sleep. So this is the introductory part of the game, which we call a tutorial. This is going to tell us what are the main commands. So yeah, it's some voice in his sleep that he's hearing. I'm not sure entirely who that voice belongs to, but I think I have an idea. I don't want to make any assumptions though. So first thing is, of course, how are you going to play this game? Well, you got to be able to move. So use the left stick, just either walk or run. That's what you start off with. Okay, now this part here, this is an extremely essential part to your entire journey. They're going to give you an option between 3 different weapons. Now these weapons, they are not going to be what you're going to be using throughout. It would be cool in a way, but you guys will see later on the weapon you're actually going to be using looks a lot more cooler. More cool. So, what we got here is we got a sword over there. Oh, circle to jump. Okay, so that's also something you're probably going to be doing a lot. But you got a sword, you got a shield, and we got a wand. So what the idea is depending on the weapon you pick, it's your stats are you're going to go, whatever weapon, it depends on which stats are going to be increasing more frequently. So with the sword, typically you think, okay, this is without strength, typical. So you could think about that's going to be your highest stat to begin with. I'm not going to say yes, though, but I'm just going to show you guys what they all talk about. So that's for the sword. Now the thing is, it's not only for the stats, but there's also something later on you'll see called ability points. Or the abilities itself. So abilities, whichever weapon you choose, you'll learn every ability at some time, but certain weapons will give you certain abilities at a sooner rate. So if you think about putting the shield, then defensive abilities will typically come primarily before the ones that rely on your strength, and then if you choose the wand, then you'll get abilities that will rely more on magic. But anyways, just skip that. So that's the shield, and again, the wand, typically, what does that tell us is your magic will go up. So what I always like to say is, I like to play it safe. So typically, most people would think, okay, sword, you want to have the highest strength possible, make it easier. But for me, I always think about, defense, that's what saves you at the end. So I'm going to pick the shield here. And you'll see later on, because there's actually going to be a specific ability that you get very early in the game. If you pick the other two, you wouldn't get it until probably towards the middle. And I don't want that. I want to have that ability because I really rely on it a lot. So you will see it later on very soon. So we'll pick the shield. Now the thing is, of course, if you pick a weapon, you got to give up on an exchange. So it's give one and take one. What I like to think about is, okay, if I give up magic, well, at this point, you'll have the exact same amount of magic. But like I mentioned, there's ability points, and that is also going to be relevant. So because I do rely on some abilities, not all of them, but I could feel that, this is normal mode. I could just do it with the sword. Strength will go up eventually. And magic's actually something you want to rely on as well, and you will see that soon enough. So give up the sword, and then that sets us up. So giving up the power of the warrior, power of the guardian is ours. We will agree to that. And now this platform is about to shatter into a million pieces. Okay, so while we get to the next part, we just briefly mention the profile name. So Alex the Gaming Teacher, what does that come from? As mentioned before, I've been a gamer for a very long time, back to the days of Super Nintendo. But I also am a high school math teacher. That's actually my actual career. So there you go, I'm a teacher. But the truth is, I actually had intended to start recording these videos in the summer. But as you're all aware of, we have this coronavirus outbreak, a very major issue. So I figured, I'm being forced to work from home. That's what most of the teachers have been doing lately. I figured, why not? I'll just start right now. I got a lot of spare time. But yeah, it's been really one tough and weird week. So it's just too insane with everything that's been going on. Seeing the president speaking every day. So it's crazy. But here I am starting this up. So that's just a little bit of what's going on here. Alright, back to the show here. So press X to attack. So typically you think about, okay, if that's the button you have to press to attack, that X button is going to get pressed a lot of times. So always think about, a lot of people kind of joke about saying, oh, this X button is going to get mashed. So actually one time in the past I did have a controller, and you could actually look at the X button was being used so much that it was actually kind of jammed in. I was like, oh man, that was not a fun thing to deal with. But it's not just with this game. A lot of games, typically X is what you use the most often. Alright, so what they're telling us is that we look at the bottom right corner there. You got main character's photo, a little smile there. But we got the green bar, that represents like how much health he has. And those blue bars, magic points. It's a mystery. So you'll find out about magic later on, but it's, at this point, not relevant. And of course, we're going to have to fight enemies. Otherwise, this game will not be all that enjoyable. So again, we have to press to X to attack, but one thing you have to keep in mind is you can actually press X consecutive if you want to set up a combo. So if you press X 3 times consecutively, that's a combo like you just saw there. And that's kind of what you want to do most often. If you just press X and then wait, and then press X, then wait again, you're not going to really get much anywhere, and combos is like a big deal. So they're talking about items, but that'll come shortly, but we don't have any items yet, so I'll talk about that in a little bit. Alright, so what we got? So another enemy. So these enemies we are called shadows. And what they're saying here is, okay, if you see an enemy that even if you don't see an enemy, if it's off screen, you're wondering, oh, is there anybody around? All you have to do is press this R1 button. So that'd be at the back on the right side. So if you press that, you're gonna lock onto an enemy. It doesn't matter where they're at or where you're at, as long as they're nearby though. They can't be like miles away. You have to be somewhat reasonably close to them. If you want to release the target lock, then you just press R1 again. But as you see, like that. So those jump combos, that's one thing, like, especially with airborne enemies, that's something that you have to keep in mind. You'll have to jump before you attack them. Alright, it's kind of a little awkward, fighting with a shield like this. But again, this is not the weapon you're going to be using for the entire game. It's just a temporary. Alright, being sucked into darkness, so it's like darkness within darkness. So again, these are just the basics here, so this is all tutorial, which I like about it. Most games, that's how it should be. Give you guys, okay, this is how you use every button, what they're used for. And they actually kind of take it slowly, because you see magic's going to come later on, abilities are going to come later on. A lot of things, they just kind of break it up, so it's not being thrown at you all at once. Like here, there's going to be another thing that you see. Got this door here. Okay, so this is something that, I mentioned about the little bit difference between this and the original. The original, you barely even use that triangle button, but now for this case, if you want to examine objects, as you can see up there, examines what you click. Because originally, examine was going to be like one of these 4 spots here, these commands. That's always going to show up, so that could get a little irritating. And what this means is basically now, triangle button has served a purpose. So that we want to keep using X so many times. Alright, and then I believe, so we've got a treasure chest. So yeah, once again here, so instead of having it open replace the attack command, you see triangle up there, and it's like, oh, clearly you press triangle because it says triangle open. Now it pops up. So usually items will pop out, but here just a magic box crate comes out. Let's see what they're saying is you can push crates, And then you can also smash it up. And look at it come out. So usually those come out of chests, not boxes, but as you can see, you still got an item out of it. So as you can see now, we have another command with the items. So you have attack, and items, but let's see what we got. Okay, lock on to objects as well as enemies. Oh yeah, so like I just did there. So if you want to lock onto an object, not that one. Oh, that's actually something else too. So if there's multiple enemies, let's just pretend that, you know, these are obviously not enemies, but you have two things here, two objects. Lock onto this one, but if you want to switch to the other one immediately, just press L2 or go back and forth like that. That's when we can trigger that. We don't have to like lock off, face that enemy, and then lock on again. I believe it's just L2, yeah, just L2, not R2. But anyways, here we got this barrel. Looks like you can also lift it, right? So if you think about that, lift, throw it. And somehow it just went away. Probably threw it overboard, but anyways, that's just with the objects. Nothing too big about that. But now we can see the door has been revealed. It's not hologram anymore, so let's walk right through it. Okay, so this part here is also interesting. It's actually sort of essential, not as important as like when you chose the weapon, but oh yeah, that's something else too. So this is in regards to a PS4 controller. So in the original game, PS2, there was no such thing as a touchpad. What they use instead, there's like a button called select, so you press that, like you see here, then you can look at first person view. But for PS4, it's just the touchpad. And it's nothing really of importance, but you could just see, look at the nice view, turn around, look at that, look at the horizon. Well, even the clouds are, some of the clouds are moving, but anyways, that's just what they're talking about there. Anyways, back to this. So we got these three characters. So again, you have the command for triangles, you press triangle to talk. They're going to be asking a series of questions, or they each have their own question. And what this is in regards to how quickly or how slowly you're going to be leveling up in the game. Now for me, I typically think about, okay, you want to level up quick or slow. I like to just be neutral, just like I did with the difficulty level. And think about it, I'm actually going to answer these questions honestly. So if it was real life here, what's most important to me? Well, number one, no. Possessions, no. It would be friendship. And then, yes, friendship's just a big deal. Well, what are you going to say about that? You got your two buddies over there. Are they not friends to you? But heck yeah, friendship, always big deal. Is that what you're going to... Yeah, I say that again. Okay. So there are two other ones here. So, what are you so afraid of? Being different? Not at all. Indecisive? That happens sometimes, but it's not what I'm afraid of. Getting old, for sure, though. Something, you know, at this point, not really, but, you know, what, like 20 years, I'll definitely be feeling like that. Yeah, I mean, it will be scary, but whatever, my opinion. And then lastly, what do you want out of life? Okay, what is this? Rare sights. That'd be nice, but not my ultimate goal. But on Horizons, this one I could really pick, honestly, any of them. But just to be strong, you know, it's ultimately what I want. So yeah, strongness. Or strength. So friendship, getting old. Sounds just about right. So I believe by answering these questions, the pace should be steady. Yeah, so it's kind of like neutral. It's exactly what I want. I didn't want it to be too difficult in the early going, but also not too easy. I kind of like it being at a steady pace. So I want to level up, not slowly. Because in the beginning, it's actually kind of important to get your levels, but then I don't want it to be like a struggle towards the end, because that's usually when the enemies are going to get tougher. So we'll look at that. So both far off and very near. Just how I like it. Okay, what was that? Oh yeah, I mentioned those little Disney princesses on the platform. The first was Snow White, and then the second one was this is Cinderella. This is Aurora. What do we got here? Okay, right. Press the options button to move the menu screen. I'll get to that later. Right now, I'll explain how the menu works. Right now, there's nothing really to see there. Wait, what do we got? Oh, yes. More shadows. Oh, yeah, we're being surrounded by them. Alright, not a problem. Just... Oh. This is the thing. When you lock on, there's so many enemies. Ugh. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention those green little balls there. Those are like health orbs, so if you're ever low on health, you definitely want to run to those right away. And you see there, well, don't really have any health anyways, but like here, if you could hit me, yeah, I got hit, and then there you go. Those heal you instantly. Ah, come on, get up, get up. Yeah, so those are called health orbs, green orbs, what do you want to call it, but speaking of health, this is another thing. This is something you definitely covet. Anytime you see this, just go right in there. Heals you instantly. All your magic, all your health gets up to full, and not to mention, it's a save point. It's one of the best things about games. You can save your progress. Don't have to do it all in one run. That's something for sure I'll be doing very often, because I could not imagine making these videos and then, forgot to save, and then there you go, have to repeat everything. Alright, so look at that view. Very nice. So I'm actually going to save it right now, just get it out of the way. I don't have to go through all that stuff again. So yeah, I mentioned briefly, I did a file before, but somehow I've deleted it, so this is all fresh, but we'll just do that very first slot. Yeah, that's how you save. Level 1. Ah. Alright, let's just get going. Alright, so let's go back to the items like I mentioned before. There's a command for you have to go down like pressing the D-pad. So we go down there, press X. There you see the potion. That was what came out from that crate. And that's where you have all the items listed. But I'll explain that along with the menu furthermore. Let's just go up these... I call them stairs, and they're not, but then think about it, they are kind of like stairs. They're all being leveled up. Oh look, they're disappearing. Okay, let's get this on. This is Bell. And the beast. Okay, so this is gonna be boss number 1. One thing you'll hear a lot from me later is the music is just so awesome. It's one of the things I love about this game. Actually, all the games, all the Kingdom Hearts games, that music is just... can't get enough of it. Alright, this creepy looking boss here. It's called Darkseid. Not like the Star Wars Darkseid, but... looks like he could fit in with him. Alright, so this is what we gotta do here. First thing he's gonna do is just gonna gather some lights, and he's gonna bury his hand right into the ground, or the platform. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump up. Ah, jeez. I'm gonna bash him in the head. Because first of all, it does a lot of damage. Look, I already got a level up. So it does damage, of course. Ah. But then you can also avoid it. And now I'm gonna attack these shadows if they cooperate. Okay, I got one. Okay, the next thing here is those orbs. Oh, okay. They're gonna come right at you. The idea is that you can either dodge them, or you could just deflect them right back to the enemy now. Oh, okay. That one's really hard. When there's 3 coming at you like that, it's almost impossible to deflect all of them. But, you know, this is basically what the fight is. He's going to keep repeating the exact same thing now. Just those 2 different... And this here is not really an attack. If you just get out of the way, you won't get hit at all. But the same thing is just go on his arm, bash his head, and you can notice where it says Tech 2P. I'll explain that later on. Come on, gotta get his hand there. Ah, dang it. Alright. Gotta be really careful now, because I feel like... Wait, what's he do? Not sure what that was about. They're just trying to stretch or something. That's how I usually feel when I'm in the morning, but... Alright, he's gonna do it again, but I have a feeling... Yep. I was afraid about that. Oh, okay, there we go. Not too bad. So I knew that second time it was going to start off with 3. All the times 3 rays are going to come at me, but yeah, just a little early fight, not too bad. Once again, being plunged into darkness, as if this dream is not dark enough. I actually feel like I have 2 people in mind. I feel that who that sound he's hearing could belong to. But anyways, let's watch this cutscene.
Whoa! Give me a break, Kyrie.
Sorry, you lazy bum. I knew that I'd find you snoozing down here.
No, this huge black thing swallowed me up. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't... Ow!
Are you still dreaming?
It wasn't a dream. Or was it? I don't know. What was that place? So bizarre.
Yeah, sure.
Say, Kyrie, what was your hometown like? You know, where you grew up?
I've told you before. I don't remember.
Nothing at all?
Nothing.
You ever want to go back?
Well, I'm happy here.
Really?
But you know, I wouldn't mind going to see it.
I'd like to see it too. Along with any other worlds out there. I want to see them all.
So what are we waiting for?
Hey! Aren't you guys forgetting about me? So, I guess I'm the only one working on the raft. And you're just as lazy as he is.
So you know this. Okay, we'll finish it together. I'll race you.
Huh?
What? Are you kidding?
Ready? Go!
I'm not sure what they're racing about, but that is the whole intro. And now the game has officially started. This is the first of the many worlds. Destiny Islands. Again, some catchy music for this one. Makes you feel like you want to dance to it. Alright. First, so again, what they say, there's an options button that takes you to the menu. So I'm just kind of go through it all together. First thing on the list, we have items. So if you click on that, again, it shows you everything that's listed. But you see, you can have up to 4. So you have 4 items equipped at once. Anytime you go into battle, you can have that. If you want to exchange at any time, it has to be done outside of battle, though. That's because you can see there's a stock. So if you have like more than 4 potions, for instance, if you had like 5 potions, then one of those would have to be in the stock. But you know, if you run out of one, then you can just then replace it anytime, but that has to be outside of battle. And then for equipment, so when you go to there, this lists basically the weapon using. So wooden sword. Thankfully, that is also not the weapon we're going to be using throughout. You'll see it shortly though. But wooden swords we have for now, and these 2 empty slots. They are for like accessory items, so later on in the game you'll be seeing that I'll be putting items here. They're just basically to raise your stats. So some raise your magic, some raise your HP, defense, strength, all that stuff. So I'll show that later on as you go. Then the next part is abilities. So again, that's just a mystery for now, but basically once you learn certain abilities, then you will see there's also ability points that you have to spend in order to have something equipped. And then shared, that I'll explain that later on, but that's something later in the future. And then customize, once you learn some magic, then you can just customize directly to these buttons here. Now you don't press the buttons directly. I believe you have to hold L1 and then press triangle, square, or X. But that's where you can just like do a shortcut. Now the status is something that you'll see me be looking at very often, because I always love to see how many experience points do I need to get to the next level, where's my strength defense at, and also, yeah, like how many ability points. You can see right there, there's 3 AP, that's ability points. And like I mentioned before, the strength. So even though those first 2 levels we gained, looks like our strength went up, I still have more defense than strength. So again, that's why when we pick the shield, defense is our highest stat at the moment. And then it tells us what level we're at, how many total experience points we've got, and how many we have to the next level, 16. So yeah, doesn't seem that steady. So it seems like we're still leveling up pretty quickly. But that's probably because the first boss, that was a lot of points. Now if you go to the right, it actually even kind of lists the weapon again, the accessories, and then also all the items. So this is ultimately probably the one you go to most often, just to see where you're at with everything. And then config, that's just if you want to change. So again, with that beginning when it says the camera settings and then the vibration, if you want to change it to off, you just go here. But I like everything where it's at, so I'm going to keep it. Alright. So that's what the whole menu is. And then let's see, let's just talk to this. It looks like her name is Kairi. What does she have to say? Got the rest of the supplies. And yeah, main character again, Sora. So I don't think I heard you, I just read it. But okay, what do you got to find? 2 logs, 1 cloth, and 1 rope. I don't think I'm going to need any help, but sure, thank you for looking out. Yeah. Okay, so you got 1 log here. Just kind of wondering about the camera settings, but yeah, I think auto is definitely where I want it to be at. Well, let's see. Hey, these are the people from the ones asking questions.
Hey, what's happening, man?
Nothing much. So you're just chilling? So I believe these are... So first of all, these are all characters from Final Fantasy. And to be honest, I have never played Final Fantasy before. It looks like a cool game, but you know, I only can buy a certain amount. But I know these characters, like his name is Wakka. I don't know exactly which one it is, but later on you'll see that actually even tells you which one he's from. The first one at least. But you can also actually fight him here, so let me just point out the best way, easiest way of doing it. So he's going to throw the beach ball, and just dodge out of the way. But what you can actually do is hit it right back at him. And then if you just keep doing that, well, you got to be timing well, but okay, when he's doing it like that, he's all dazed. But and then what you do is after you do that, then you just get a little combo there. But what I want to actually show is that if you actually keep a distance away, you can smack those beach balls. They're not going to go back at him, but notice, like I mentioned before, that was tech. When it says tech, just get out of the way here. That is actually additional experience points. Now, when it does that, when he says take this, he's going to jump up high and throw a bullet at you. So you want to be careful about that. But if you keep on doing this, this is actually an easy way to get early experience points. So remember, it said I had 16. I could just do this until I get to the next level. Because this is actually very beneficial. Now, ideally, it's not something you want to be doing for a very long time, because, as you know, when the higher level you get, the more experience points you're going to need. Alright, there we go. Let's finish this. But that's... Alright, there we go. Right on the foot. Okay. Right in your face. But yeah, it's like... Getting early experience points is actually a very good idea. Just to get you on the... You know, on the right path. But yeah, eventually you'll get tired of doing that, so let's just move on from there. Alright, you got this other one here.
The breeze feels great.
Her name's Selfie. Except she's not taking a selfie. Alright, so what am I up to? Oh, I know I'm up to beating you, so let's duel. Now for her,
Okay, don't hold back.
what you want to do is just she's gonna leap at you like that, and then once she leaps at you, strike back that jump rope or whatever that thing you call is. It's gonna hit her in the head, and notice you actually get 2 tech points. Again, another easy way of getting early experience points. But again, that's just what you ideally want to do. And then, forgot about that. So If you just keep bashing at her though, I don't think she has any time to recover. So, probably the easiest of three, there's gonna be a third opponent of course, but which was the other guy that asked the question, so I think he's all the way up there. Yeah, he's all by himself. Okay, let's go up there. I believe there's also an item. One of the items we're trying to get along the way. Yeah, it's the rope. So the rope's over here. And then what does he have to say?
Hey, Sora! You feel lucky today?
I'm feeling very lucky. I've already beaten 2 opponents, now I'm gonna beat you. I didn't ask for anything.
You're going down!
Alright, for him, what you're going to do is just... Okay, hold on a sec. This one there's like no easy strategy, but that one right there, when he does a backflip, he's gonna flip again forward, and you just want to move out of the way and unleash a combo. Cause it looks like he's just doing it repetitively, like that. So yeah, a little rough start. And there you go, all the way out in the flash.
Oh man, I'm really off today.
Yeah, you had it going, but can't beat me. Alright, so that's enough for those. So again, I think his name's either Titus or Titus. You're not really good with the pronunciations, and again, I never played Final Fantasy, so I feel like it's Titus. I think they actually say it later on too. Alright, I know there's something in here. It's the clock. Alright, so I think we got everything except we just need 1 log. Oh, nice waterfall there. Yeah, I believe it's over here, so we're gonna cross this bridge. Oh, look, there's the other guy from Gore. So that guy, I don't think they said in the cutscene, but his name is Riku, another one of the main characters. So we got all our items, but let's just talk to him. I believe you can also fight him. Yep, alright. Now he, typically of course, is going to be tougher than those other 3. So what you gotta do is, just kind of like with Titus. Just attack and then move out of the way. Now for him though, unlike the other opponents, like that, when you hit him like 4 times, then he's gonna like do a little kick like that. It's a little jump kick. You just want to get out of the way for that. That can do some heavy damage. Although, again, I picked the shield, so I'm gonna see how much damage does that do. Yeah. Okay, yeah, just a little bit more than the other hits, but okay, for something like that, he's gonna keep blocking those hits. But since he says my turn, just get out of the way. Oh boy. Definitely has a lot more HP than... Okay, that's it. He had more HP than the others, but really not too bad. Oh yeah, they keep a score here, and I believe, yeah, they give us an item as well. So you know what? I'm just gonna do that again. It'd be nice to actually have some potions early on. Let's just do 1 more round. Up the score. Alright. So that's the thing you want to keep in mind. 4 hits, so you can actually do 1 straight up combo. And then the next hit though, he is going to do that jump. Oh, well, maybe not. So yeah, if you keep that count though, then hit him once. That's why I mentioned before. It's not always a good idea to, like, you know, just keep on pressing X consecutively, because then sometimes, for instance, you know, like that, if you do a combo, you might be in danger of getting hit right afterwards. So for like this, probably not a bad idea if you just press X once and move. It will take longer though that way. Ah, see, like that, only 1 hit. Okay, so it is still tricky. Easier said than done. Losing a little bit more health this time. But, not a match, okay. Didn't want to have to use a potion, especially since I'm getting another potion. So 3 potions at my arsenal, that sounds nice to have. Let's just see here how much experience. Okay, 14. Sounds good. All right. Before I talk to Kairi, let's go into here, the Seaside Shack. Let me try saying that fast 5 times. This should be a save point. Okay, so this is pretty much the only save point I believe in this world. So after all that mess, I'm gonna go ahead and save. Yeah, we're at level 1, and I love to save this progress. Level 4 sounds a lot nice. A lot nicer. Okay. Alright, so let's just go back up here. A little detour. Jump over here. So we've got everything, so we're just gonna talk to Kairi. Oh, looks like she got something for me. A high potion. Okay. That's nice. It's typically better than the potion itself. Yeah. Well, we'll see what the high potion does later on. But that's something ultimately you don't want to be using right away.
So, Kairi's home is out there somewhere, right?
Could be. We'll never know by staying here.
But how far could a raft take us?
Who knows? If we have to, we'll think of something else.
So, suppose you get to another world. What would you do there?
Well, I haven't really thought about it. It's just, I've always wondered why we're here, on this island. If there are any other worlds out there. Why did we end up on this one? And suppose there are other worlds. Then ours is just a little piece of something much greater. So, we could have just as easily ended up somewhere else, right?
I don't know.
Exactly. That's why we need to go out there and find out. Just sitting here won't change a thing. It's the same old stuff. So let's go.
You've been thinking a lot lately, haven't you?
Thanks to you. If you hadn't come here, I probably would have never thought of any of this. Kairi, thanks.
You're welcome.
Sora! You wanted one, didn't you?
A Palpu fruit?
If two people share one, their destinies become intertwined. They'll remain a part of each other's lives, no matter what. Come on, I know you want to try it.
What are you talking?
Sounds like Sora has a little crush on Kairi. Palpu fruit. I always wondered, does that even exist? It's like a starfish mixed with a melon. Ah, yes. Again, my favorite part. Disney Castle. Disney music. Donald Duck. Yes, those magic broomsticks from Fantasia. Hearing this just makes you want to go to Disneyland.
Good morning, Your Majesty. It's nice to see you this one. What?
Looks like the Majesty is Mickey Mouse. As you can see, there's that famous ear symbol. Sounds like something's happened. And there's Goofy Goof.
Wake up, Goofy, wake up! This is serious.
You've been zapped.
Hey there, Donald. Good
We
morning.
got a problem, Goofy. But don't tell anyone.
Oh, Queen Minnie?
Not even the Queen.
Daisy?
No! It's top secret.
Oh, good morning, ladies.
What?
Yeah, again, the thing about this game, not only with the Disney, but like also the voices, spot on. Now, some of the voices actually are the exact same actors that use the same voice. Now, some of them though aren't, but you'll see how pretty accurate it is. So that was Phase 1 of Destiny Islands. Let's see, what do you gotta say
Hey,
here?
Sora, have you heard about the legendary power of the Paopu fruit?
I was just asking about
They
that.
say if you share it with someone you really care for, it binds you together forever and ever, through eternity. It's so romantic. I gotta try it sometime.
Yeah, except you say is friendship a deal? I don't know. Is that gonna work with anybody? Okay. Let's see here. They all moved somewhere
Me and
else.
Cheetahs, we are gonna do a little exploring today. You know, to the secret place at the base of that tree. There's gotta be something there, yeah?
We'll get to that later. That's actually coming to play big time. Well, let's see. We got a bill here. Nothing in there. Let's see. What is Titus over here got to say?
I think you've gotten stronger, but odds are you're still no match for Riku. We took him on 3-1 last time. He whipped us all. Well, I guess Kairi can always count on him.
3-1, that's right. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna try this. We'll see how it goes. You fought those 3 enemies, but on the first phase of Destiny Islands, we can actually fight them all at once. This is a massive challenge, so I'm just gonna give it a go, see how it looks. Now, the only way I always say is start with Waka. Actually, so first of all, I'm gonna see me running a lot here, but if you can actually find a way, find a way so that when he throws a beach ball, you're gonna deflect it, but not back to him. Okay. So you want to keep him close, so. But again, if you actually, oh boy. Dang. Oh, not what I meant to do. Okay, again, probably. Okay, what I always say. All right, there we go. Oh. Yeah, this is. So maybe it's probably best just deflect it back at Waka. Oh man. Alright, there we go. Yeah. Oh boy, not good. Alright, we got one out of the way, so let's see here. Okay. Where is no? Alright. I hate it when you're like, just don't give me time to run. Oh. Alright, there we go. So you'll probably see me, I'm not going to be talking that much on fights that they are a little bit more difficult. As you can see, not anywhere as close to even easy as just fighting one by themselves, but that's why I'm just complete focus. But anyways, that's the idea. Like, you just want to make sure you keep running around. Anytime that Waka's throwing those beach balls, you can either just focus on trying to smack it against one of them, but it's probably easier if you just try to deflect it back to Waka himself. That way you only have to be dealing with 2 enemies at the time, because once he's stunned, there's only 2 of them chasing you. But yeah, thankfully, they gave me a potion for that, so... This is interesting, because we had... Oh, that's right. So, this is actually what I'll come to. We had the items. As you can see, we start with 1 potion, but in the stock, we got a lot more items here. So what you want to do is, if you want to equip more items, just go to the stock, press X on that item. You want to go to exchange, and then click Sora, and then go to the empty slot here. And you can see, now you have 2 potions at your disposal. So I'm going to just keep doing that until everything's filled up. You always want to basically have... Now, for me, I actually am one that don't use items that much, but in the early going, it's probably not a bad idea to at least fill them up just in case. Because later on you'll see there's going to be a magic spell that will spare us from having to do that. But, okay. So I think I'm just gonna go through. I know what we have to do next, but just gonna make sure we save after that. That was one brutal fight. But yeah, you get a potion for that though. That's a reward for like the challenge. Imagine you get a potion just for fighting Riku. I feel like that is a lot more difficult than just fighting Riku himself. I'm going to just save it. Alright, I think I'm gonna end it here. So I just want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, just please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or thoughts from what you saw, anything at all, just comment down below. I'd like to hear from what you guys have to say about it. So just having said that, see you all very soon.